Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Good afternoon and welcome to the July cattle briefing. My name is Dan Korestis and I serve as the Executive Director of the Agricultural Statistics Board here at NASS. This briefing is for the Secretary and other policymakers here at USDA to better understand the content of today's reports. We are pleased to have Undersecretary Robert Bonney with us today. Mr. Bonney, as you know, the July livestock reports represent a major output for NASS. In attendance today, we have a regional deputy director and 3 statisticians from our NASS Northeastern Regional Field Office. I have a few notes for our live streaming audience. The cattle report is a key report. The Office of Management and Budget provides specific guidance on how these key statistical reports are to be released. OMB statistical policy instructs policymakers officials to refrain from making public comment within 1 hour of the release of these reports. Federal statistical agencies are guided to provide for a wide distribution of information in a variety of formats and be open about processes and procedures. We will not be taking any questions from the public during this briefing. However, NASS staff are available for email or phone questions, and NASS will host a social media event 1 hour after the release of these data. We strive to have everything presented at this briefing match the official record. However, should there be any discrepancy between what is presented at this briefing and the published estimates, always refer to the official published estimates. With that, I will turn it over to Travis Averill, Chief of the Livestock Branch.
Thanks, Dan. Welcome everyone that can join us today. First, I'd like to provide an overview of the July 2022 cattle survey data collection. On the map are the number of samples for the 50 states surveyed this July. Approximately 15,400 operations were surveyed in July. Data collection started on June 30th and finished on the 15th of July. Normal data collection methods were used to gather the data through mail, telephone, internet, and face-to-face interviews. The primary data items collected were total inventory by class, all cattle on feed, and calf crop. Revisions for U.S. cattle and calves. All inventory and calf crop estimates for July 1, 2021 were reviewed using final calf crop, official slaughter, death loss, and updated import and export data. This table provides an overview of the revisions for July 1st, 2021. As the table has the initial estimate, current revisions, net revisions, and the last column has the current estimates. The revisions for July 1, 2021, all cattle and calves, and the 2021 calf crop were actually completed in January 2022. So current estimate for July 1, 2022 is at 100.8 million head of cattle and calves, and the calf crop for 2021 was just under 35.1 million head. July 1, 2022, all cattle and calves in the United States are at 98.8 million head, down 2% from 2021. At the bottom is a chart of U.S. all cattle and calves for July 1 from 2002 to 2022. The current cattle cycle started in 2014 at 95.7 million head and peaked in 2018 at 102.8 million. As you can see on this chart, there's a few breaks. So I'd like to note this. During the presentation, you will see some breaks in these charts due to NASS not conducting the July cattle survey 2013-2016 due to reduced funding. July 1st, all cows and heifers that have calved in the United States are at 39.8 million head, down 2% from previous year. Beef cows are at 30,350,000 head, down 2.4% from 2021. Milk cows are at 9,450,000 head, down 0.5% from a year ago. The chart in the bottom left-hand corner for July 1st, U.S. beef cows for 2002 to current is similar to the all cattle cycle that I provided on the previous slide. And to the right of that chart is the chart of the U.S. milk cows for July 1st since 2002. Over the last 21 years, milk cows inventory has ranged from 9 million to 9.5 million head. On July 1st, the United States all heifers 500 pounds and over at 15.6 million head, down 1.9% from previous year. Beef replacement heifers are at 4,150,000 head, down 3.5% from 2021. Milk replacement heifers are at 3,750,000 head, down 1.3% from previous year. Other heifers are at 7.7 million head, also down 1.3% from last year. The all heifer chart for the U.S. for July 1 from 2002 to present mirrors the peaks and valleys of the all cattle charts that I presented earlier in the presentation today. The July 1, 2022 steers 500 pounds and over at 14.4 million head, down 1.4% from 2021. Bulls 500 pounds and over are unchanged at 2 million head. Calves weighing less than 500 pounds are at 27 million, down 2.5% from previous year. At the bottom is a chart illustrating the steers, bulls, and calves for July 1 for the last 21 years. Steers are blue, bulls are in orange, and calves are in gray. A takeaway from this chart is the variability in the calves over the years illustrated on the chart. Next is the U.S. calf crop. The preliminary calf crop for the first half of 2022 is 25.3 million head, down 1.3% from previous year. As a percentage of the total calf crop, the first half accounts for 73.1%, which is unchanged from 2021. 9.3 million calves are expected to be born from July 1st to December 31st, 2022, down 1.6% from 2021. The preliminary annual calf crop for 2022 is 34.6 million head, down 1.4% from last year. The chart provides the annual calf crop since 2002, and the 2022 value is a preliminary estimate and will be further reviewed in January of 2023. Trade expectations compared to NASS estimates as a percent from previous year. Trade ranges are gray, the trade averages are black circles, and the NASS estimates are the red squares. All cattle and calves and cattle on feed with a capacity of 1,000 head or more are within trade expectations. Trade expectations are lower for all cows and heifers that have calved, beef cows, milk cows, and the annual calf crop. Even though these four estimates are lower than NASS estimates, the magnitude is less than 1% or smaller for those four. The past 12 months, the drought condition in the U.S. has changed geographically and has increased as a whole for the country. In the top left-hand corner of the slide is drought condition for June 29, 2021. The moderate D1 level was at 35%, and the severe drought level, D2, which are illustrated in yellow, was 21%. To the right is the drought map for December 28, 2021, where the moderate level had increased to 50% and the severe drought level had increased to 33%. And at the bottom illustrates the condition, the most current one for June 28th of 2022. In comparisons with December, the moderate percent change is unchanged, although up 15% from the previous year's level. The severe drought was up 1% from December and up 13% from prior year level. And so you can take away from the current drought map conditions is that the northern portion that was impacted earlier in the year, like 12 months ago, now has improved, and that drought has shifted into the eastern part of Texas, which there's a larger percentage of cattle. And you can see on the map that the darker green illustrates major livestock areas. So just wanted to point that out in those conditions and the impact it's having. U.S. cattle on feed, July 1st, 2022, with comparisons to last year. Feedlots with a capacity of 1,000 head or more is at 11,340,000 head, slightly higher than previous year. As a percentage of the total of cattle on feed, this group accounted for 84.6% of all cattle on feed, slightly higher than the 84.3% in 2021. Feedlot with a capacity of less than 1,000 head is at 2,060,000 head, down 2.1% from last year. Even though all cattle on feed is unchanged from 2021, more cattle are accounted for in the feedlots with capacity of 1,000 head or more than last year. The chart for July 1 all cattle on feed for 2002 to 2022. You can see the lowest inventory was in 2009 at 11.6 million, and the highest was at 13.6 million in 2019 and 2020. The U.S. feeder cattle supply for July 1, 2022, in comparison to previous year, as it provided in the previous slide, calves under 500 pounds are at 27 million head. Steers and other heifers 500 pounds and over total to 22.1 million head. Some of the three inventory components provide a total supply of feeder cattle, which is 49.1 million head, down 2% from the 50 million in 2021. As I stated on the previous slide, all cattle on feed is 13.4 million head. The calculated feeder cattle supply is 35.7 million head, down 2.7% from the total of 36.7 million in 2021. The feeder cattle supply chart for July 1 has ranged from 34.3 million in 2014 to as high as 39.3 million in 2002. Highlight the selected upcoming NASS reports. In addition to today's cattle report, today's releases include cattle on feed, cold storage, and peanut prices. On July 29th, agricultural prices. 1st of August will be the care report for cotton systems, fats and oils, flour millings, and grain crushings, along with the annual honeybee colonies report. Dairy products on August 4th, August 5th, cash rents and land values, crop production on August 12th. Today at 4 p.m., I'll be hosting StatChat to answer any questions concerning the July cattle report. All reports are available at the NASS official website. I appreciate everyone attending today's live streaming session for the July cattle ASB briefing. Thanks again and have a great day. And that concludes today's live streaming.